Abudo. Marlene Rivera.
Pedro Rivera.
Charlie Murphy.
There's a lot of controversy over the death penalty. Many people have their reasons as to why they are against the death penalty, but I'm going to give you reasons as to why I am for the death penalty. Currently, there are 35 states that support the death penalty. From 1998 to 2010, 1,050 inmates have been executed by lethal injection, 156 by electrocution, 11 by lethal gas, 3 have been hung, and 3 by a firing squad. Now, as you can tell from this slide, they are the supporting states, the 35 supporting states. Now, each state has their own method as to how they go about executing inmates that are on death row. Now I'm going to give you reasons as to how you receive the death penalty. Those who receive the death penalty are those who commit murders doing a drug-related crime, civil rights offenses resulting in murder, murder related to sexual exploitation of children, murder related to carjacking or kidnapping, and murder related to rape. Now, these crimes that are being committed, they're not just regular crimes. They are heinous crimes. They're crimes that regular people don't commit, aren't able to do. They are killing people over silly things. Now I'm going to show you how murders, the rate as to how murders are decreasing or increasing in the past couple of years. Now, in nearly 40 years, the number of state prisoners has declined. According to the Pew Center on the States, as of January 1st, 2010, there were 1,404,053 prisoners incarcerated. The number of murders in the U.S. from 1990 to 2008 has decreased according to the FBI Uniform Crime Reports. Now, as you can tell, from 1975 to 1980, they dropped increasingly. Now, from 1980 up to 1990, they went up. Now, from 1990 on forward, they're decreasing slowly, which is a great accomplishment. Now, according to David Vondrell, who is a journalist for Time magazine, he states that in 1991, the murder rate in the U.S. reached a near 9.8 per 100,000 people, which is a record. David states, had the rate remained unchanged, that an additional 170,000 Americans would have been murdered in the year since 1992. That's more U.S. lives than were lost in Vietnam, Korea, World War I, and Iraq combined. That means in a single year like 2008, lower crime rates meant 40,000 fewer rapes and 500,000 fewer aggravated assaults. Now I'm going to give you reasons as to why abolitionists argue that the government has no right to take a human's life. Well, these people who are killing people over nonsense, they have no right to kill other human beings. They're killing people over vehicles. I'm sure many individuals have worked hard for a car to transport their children to here and there, and they're killing them over a vehicle. They also have no right to rape a human being, leave them in the ground to be eaten by bugs or whatever the reason may be. They're leaving them for silly reasons. They also have no right to torture somebody over drugs and kill them. They also have no right at all to hurt our children, to rape our children, and to kill them. Now I want you to take a look at a few pictures. I know you've heard of the Black Dahlia murder, Richard Chase, and the Manson family. I want you to take a look at these photos and just imagine. Imagine your wife, your mother, your daughter. Imagine them cut up into pieces. Imagine finding your wife exposed on the kitchen floor, gutted, exposed, sexually assaulted. Imagine your pregnant wife in the living room, exposed, vulnerable, raped. I'm sure you wouldn't like for that person who did this crime, who did your wife or did your daughter like this, I'm sure you wouldn't just want them to be in prison, eating, sleeping, hanging out in prison, pumping iron. Just think about it. What would you do? How would you react? Now there's two individuals, two young women, two young girls that I was drawn to. They recently passed away. The first one passed away in April 2008. Her name is Megan Langowski. She was stabbed 42 times with a steak knife. A fellow classmate snuck into her home, duct taped her mouth, duct taped the back of her hands to her back, and sexually assaulted her while she was home alone. After he was done sexually assaulting her, he snuck out and went to orchestra practice. He went on to live life for 6 months, acting like nothing ever happened, acting like a regular teenage boy. Later, her father came home to find her on the floor, sexually assaulted, dead, her throat slit. Now imagine that was your daughter. Imagine finding your daughter in that situation. How would you react? How would you feel? Think about it. That's the last vision you have of your daughter. The next individual, her name is Chloe Ottoman. She was 16 years old when she passed away. She was raped July 15, 2010. And on her situation, she was really good friends with a young boy. He was 17 years old. They were friends for 2 years. They often hung out, talked, what friends do. Well, he wanted to have sex with her. He came on to her. She refused to have sex with him, and he got angry. So he choked her unconscious. Then he raped her while she was unconscious. After he was done, he stabbed her. He wanted to make sure she was dead, so he stabbed her with a pocket knife over and over and over again till she was dead. He then drug her body over to a wooded area where he left her for 2 days. He was sentenced to 60 years. The other young gentleman that was 19 years old, he was sentenced to the death penalty. The family sought the death penalty. The other young man, his family, he gets to live life. He gets to live life in prison. Eating, sleeping, communicating with other human beings. While these young girls, their lives are gone. These parents are without children. Now, whether you believe in the death penalty or not, as young children, we have been taught that we must take responsibility for our actions. Same rules apply when you hurt somebody, when you kill another human being. If a person is able to kill another human being in an inappropriate, unremorseful manner, then they don't deserve to live. They don't deserve to continue ruining other people's lives for their misfortunes. Now, I appreciate you listening to my presentation. I hope I have made you think about and just in a different perspective of the death penalty, about human beings who kill. Thank you very much.